The next thing I want to show you is how we can load specialty fonts and icons into our project using our child theme. As you know, adding fonts and icons to any website can improve the website's performance, accessibility, and the overall user experience. We'll be looking at how we can incorporate Google Fonts and Font Awesome icons. This will allow you to be very creative and customize your website even further. As you may recall from before, we were using a more cursive font for the header within the hero section, and then the overall font throughout our project was a different font than what's being used here. So I am going to go ahead and incorporate these things into my project. There are several ways that you can incorporate Google Fonts into your project, but following our laziness principle, we want to try to utilize the easiest method possible. But because we're working with a block theme, which allows us to have access to full site editing, or FCS, which allows you to modify headers, footers, and templates directly in WordPress, we want to take advantage of that feature and make as many modifications as we can through WordPress. Prior to working with block themes in WordPress, we would use something called the classic editor. And when we needed to make modifications, such as adding Google Fonts, we would have to make changes to the PHP files that were inside of our template files. So these files still exist. If I go into my 2025 parent theme and I go into the patterns folder, there are a slew of these files that exist. So typically we would have been augmenting something called header.php, but because of the block theme, this is something that we can augment right within WordPress. So to do this, let's go back into WordPress. In order to incorporate our Google Fonts, we're going to go into our customizer, we're going to click Styles, and this is where you can change your website's default styles. We are going to bypass these default built-in styles and go directly to the Edit Style area. One of the things we can do here is augment our typography. So if I click Typography and we go ahead and click Manage Fonts, it's going to open up the font area, and this is going to contain a library of all the fonts that have to do with this particular style. So for this particular style, we have these two fonts loaded. I want to install my own custom fonts. So I will go to Install Fonts, and you can see that it's going to automatically connect to Google Fonts. So I will click Allow Access to Google Fonts. I'm going to search for the fonts that I want to install. The first one is Lato. I'll go ahead and select this, and then you can specify which styles of the font you want to install. I will pick several of these styles, and I'm going to click Install. It lets you know that the fonts were installed. I'll click the back button right here, and then I'm going to search for the second font that I want to use, which is the Allura font. This one only has one style, so I will go ahead and install that as well. Now that I've done this, I can close this window, and as you can see, these two fonts, Allura and Lato, are listed. At this point, I'm going to go into my text elements, and I'm going to reset the font to the Lato font. Then I'll go ahead and I'll go back to text, and I'm going to do this for all of these different areas. So for links, I also want to use Lato. For headings, I'll choose Lato. For captions, I'm going to use Lato, but I'm going to adjust the styles. So instead of using the default style, I'm going to make my captions use light italic. I'll click the back button right here, and for buttons, we're also going to be using Lato. So now that I've set the font families for all of my presets, I will go ahead and save. Now that I have that, I want to change this on my homepage. That is a change that we're going to need to make on a page level. So I will make sure that I've saved my changes. I'm going to click to go back out of this area and click one more time to get to the dashboard. We'll go into Pages and we'll access our home page. And now I can select this element, which is currently an H5. I'm going to go to the typography section. I'll go to the three dots and I'll turn on font and appearance. And then once we have those categories, I can use the font pull down menu and you can see we have the fonts that we just recently installed. I'll want to make the font size quite a bit bigger. I am going to set a custom size of 60 pixels. And now you can see we have our header and it's using that cursive Allura font. I will go ahead and save. And if we come back to the front end and refresh, that is looking much better. So in this case, using WordPress and modifying our global styles is easier than us having to do anything within the child theme. And because the block editor already has Google Fonts available, we can go ahead and just easily make this change within WordPress. The next thing that I'm going to want to do on my website is I want to have the ability to add some font awesome icons. Currently, I'm not using any, but ultimately down in my footer, I'm going to want to have some links to my social media and I want to be able to access those font awesome icons. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our WordPress website the ability to utilize font awesome icons. By default, font awesome icons are not available in our website, and we are going to have to augment our child theme so that we have the ability to utilize these. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my editor and we will be working on our child themes function file. So I'm going to go back to my functions.php. Our first line of script that we had added enqueued our child theme. This code is for the child theme. I'm going to just put some returns in here. And if you want to go ahead and add a comment, this will help you to remember what you're doing within the child theme. So I'm just going to add a comment of font awesome. And then I'm going to add the code that I need. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to do something similar to what we did here. We're going to make a function. So we'll go ahead and write the function first. It is worth mentioning that before I used the add action and then I made my function, I'm going to write the function now because I think it makes a little bit more sense, but it is worth mentioning that the order in which we write these is not important. It will still work whether you use the function first and then use add action or vice versa. So I'm going to put function and then I need to give the function a name. So we're going to call this my underscore child underscore theme underscore enqueue font awesome. Then we'll close the parentheses and we'll open the curly brace. And then inside that first set of curly brace, I'm going to go ahead and use my WP underscore enqueue style. And this time we're going to open parentheses and then I'm going to hit a return. Inside of these parentheses, I need to add some code that will allow me to access font awesome. Keep in mind that the WP enqueue style is a WordPress function that allows you to add style sheets to your theme. The first argument that we're going to make here, which goes inside of the parentheses, and we're going to encapsulate this inside of quotes, is going to be font-awesome. Then I'm going to specify a comma, and this basically is the handle name that is used to reference the style sheet. We're also going to need the URL of where Font Awesome is located. That's going to be our second argument. So I'm going to go out to the web and grab that information. I will use the current version of Font Awesome, so I'm going to copy this URL. I'll go back to my code editor, and inside this set of quotes, I'm going to paste that URL. We'll add a comma. Our third argument is going to be an array. This would define any dependencies. So this might be other styles that needed to be loaded before this one. In this case, we're going to leave it empty. And then the fourth argument is going to specify the version. And this is useful for cache busting. So inside of a set of quotes, I'm just going to write 6.5.2. And because this is my last argument, I don't need to do anything else. I just need to make sure that my closing parentheses is here, and I'll put a semicolon after that. And then, of course, we have the closing set of curly braces, which is encapsulating our function. So now we have the function, and then what we need to do is we need to use the add action. Remember, we're using that up here. So we're going to use that again outside of the curly braces. I'll write add underscore action. And then inside of parentheses, inside of quotes, we're going to use our WP enqueue scripts. Then I'll set a comma, and then I need to say the name of the function. So in this case, that's going to be my child theme, enqueue font awesome. This will go in a set of quotes as well. And I can terminate this statement with a semicolon. Keep in mind that add action is a WordPress function that attaches or hooks a function to a specific WordPress event. The first argument, the WP enqueue scripts, is an action hook that runs when WordPress is loading scripts and styles for the front end. This basically ensures that styles and scripts are added at the correct time and at the right location, basically the head section of your page. And then the second argument that we're passing in right here is the name of the function that gets executed when the WP enqueue scripts runs. So in this case, it's the my child theme enqueue font awesome function, which enqueues the font awesome style sheet. This should be all I need to do within my functions file. That by itself, of course, is not going to allow us to incorporate any sort of font awesome elements. In order to incorporate the font awesome elements, we are going to need to modify our code. I'm going to open up Font Awesome, and at this point, I'm not going to add anything, but I just want to show you that this does work. So what I'll do is I'll just pick a icon. I'm just going to search for plant in the free plan because our website has to do with plants. I'll pick a specific icon that I like. I like this leaf. So I'm going to click on the leaf, and you can see that it gives me a code snippet. I'll just copy that. And if we go back to our website, and let's just place this for now on our home page. And I'm just going to add this little leaf icon right after this sentence. So in order to add this icon, I'm going to need to add an HTML snippet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this paragraph is highlighted. We'll go into these three dots, and I'm going to say edit as HTML. And this is the HTML for this particular paragraph. At the end of the paragraph, I'm just going to paste in that code, which is the I with a class of FA solid, FA leaf. That's it. At this point, I can go back to the visual editor. Let's save our page. And if we go ahead and refresh, you can see that the little leaf icon is showing up. So anywhere I want to use a Font Awesome icon, I can add the Font Awesome code. It is worth mentioning that if you wanted to put this somewhere other than something that already exists, let's just say right here, I wanted to add a new element. So I hit return, which allows me to make a new block. I'm going to go ahead and add a new block. I will add custom HTML, and if you don't see that, you can just search for HTML. And once you have the custom HTML, you can go ahead and place your HTML there. And at that point, you'll save your page. And if we go back to the front end portion of our website and refresh, you're going to see that little leaf is going to show up there as well. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and customized our website by adding Google Fonts, and we did that through the WordPress editor. And then we also added the ability to use Font Awesome icons. And in order to do that, we had to modify our functions page so that the Font Awesome CSS was loaded into the head section of our website, which gives us the ability to utilize the Font Awesome icons. As you can see, being able to modify and fully control your WordPress website is a huge advantage, as you will be able to incorporate any element that you want to into your project.